report coming in from our News 18 reporter in Varanasi.
डेट डिसाइड होगी, जिस डेट पर इसका जो है वैज्ञानिक परीक्षण होगा या कार्बन डेटिंग होगी, वो डेट तय होगी। अब इसका दूसरा पहलू क्या है, अगर इसको मुस्लिम पक्ष पर ऐतराज है इस बात पर मुस्लिम पक्ष का, तो वो यहाँ से जा सकता है हाई कोर्ट। उसके लिए भी हाई कोर्ट के और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के रास्ते खुले हैं। तो जो कानूनी कदम है वो हाई कोर्ट की तरफ उठता दिखाई देगा, क्योंकि हाई कोर्ट से उनको वो कोशिश करेंगे कि इस आदेश के खिलाफ स्टे लाएं, क्योंकि इससे मिलता जुलता ही आदेश जब विजय शंकर रस्तोगी का हुआ था 2.5 साल पहले, तब ये था कि ज्ञानव्यापी पूरे सर्वे का ASI सर्वे का आदेश हुआ था, तो उस पर वो हाईकोर्ट चले गए, तो वहां से स्टे हो गया था। लेकिन यहाँ पर पूरे परिसर के सर्वे का मांग नहीं की गई है। यहाँ पर सिर्फ जो कथित शिवलिंग मिला है वो, और उसका वो कहाँ तक गया है, उसकी लंबाई चौड़ाई कहाँ है, वो जमीन पर गया है तो कहाँ गया है, उस मिट्टी की क्या उम्र है, उस आसपास के क्षेत्र की क्या उम्र है, और अगर पत्थर की किसी और तरीके से वैज्ञानिक परीक्षण के जरिए उम्र पता की जा सकती है तो वो तरीका क्या है। तो इसके खिलाफ क्या हाईकोर्ट जाने पर अगर फैसला आ जाता है, और हाईकोर्ट जाने पर क्या मस्जिद पक्ष को राहत मिलेगी, क्या हाईकोर्ट इस पर स्टे देता है या नहीं देता है, या स्टैंड कर देता है, इस मुकदमे की सुनवाई जारी रखने का आदेश देता है, तो उनके पास फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाने का रास्ता होगा। लेकिन ये बात तो
All right, so that was Upendra, Network 18 reporter, live from Varanasi. Pranshu, if I could come back to you, we heard what Upendra had to say. He said that, you know, the carbon dating is being demanded for the shivling, something that you were also rightly pointing out. And now that is what is going to become the bone of contention, if that is going to be permitted or not, because we are not looking at a larger area, but the shivling itself.
Well, you know, Kanksha, see, our viewers should also understand that the parties concerned in this case also have an interest as far as the other case before the High Court is concerned. So you talk about Advocate Vishnu Jain and his father Harishankar Jain. They also are the litigants and you know, the petitioners as far as the other case is concerned. So I think all this exercise on the part of the Hindu side is being done to ensure that basically they are trying to reach towards a point where they have a larger voice for the ASI survey or the carbon dating of the said site. As I was saying that, you know, in case the carbon dating is allowed, that will automatically bring ASI in picture, because which other agency, which other body apart from Archaeological Survey of India would be more competent to carry out such an exercise like doing a carbon dating or doing an entire detailed survey of that area. So in fact, the moment the court here, in case, you know, taking this assumption that the carbon dating is allowed, it will further strengthen or give you know, more credibility to the demand of the ASI survey in this case, and that demand is already being considered by the Allahabad High Court. So I think this case also is now reaching a point where it has almost similar demands by the Hindu side as had been in the past, that is the ASI survey. So I think carbon dating is just a different sort of name. Basically, it is an attempt to bring in the ASI in the entire picture, and therefore, today's decision by the court becomes very important, because the moment carbon dating is allowed, there will be definitely no question that ASI or the Archaeological Survey of India is going to come in picture as far as the Gyanvapi and the Kashi Vishwanath dispute is concerned.
It's interesting that you pointed out that the ASI will be coming into the picture if carbon dating is allowed. But what if it is challenged by the AIM at the higher court? Can they still go ahead with it?
Well, definitely, see, that is going to happen. And remember, and you know that the Lord Vishweshwar Mahadev versus the Gyanvapi case is the test example. April last year, April 2021, if you remember, the civil judge court in Varanasi ordered for an ASI probe. It ordered the state government, UP government, to constitute a 5-member team or comprising of ASI officials to do a survey of that site. Immediately, Muslim, that is all in the Sunni Central Waqf Board and Anjuman Intizamiya Committee went to the High Court. High Court stayed the orders of the lower court, and for past 1 year, the hearing in that case is going on. So the moment the carbon dating, you know, if we presume that it is allowed by the district judge court here, there is no surprise that the Muslim side will again go to the High Court saying that, you know, this is something, a decision that is not, that has been unjustifiedly given by the district judge court, and we have all right to challenge it in the higher court. So be very sure that the moment, you know, carbon dating is allowed, the Muslim side will definitely go to the High Court.
Right. I'm also going to bring in Ananya in on this as we try and reconnect our line with Ananya. Pranchu, you were also you briefly also referred to the whole process of carbon dating. It is a scientific method, but I'm sure many of our viewers are unaware about it. Could you please throw more light on the whole process of carbon dating, which is going to play a very crucial role perhaps in deciding the fate of this case?
Well, the carbon dating is generally, Akanksha, done to certain the lifespan or the period of longevity of a particular object. But generally, the carbon dating is done on structures, on remnants of plants and animals, or something, the living bodies which are no more. So generally, we haven't heard about carbon dating on non-living substances, on elements or metals or any other rock structure. So that has also been the argument from the Muslim side, which was countered by the Hindu side or the section of the Hindu side. So that is what basically carbon dating is. But now the Hindu side, in its subsequent arguments in the court, has modified its demand, saying that what it actually wants is the survey of that entire area, including the area where the shivling stands, carbon dating of the soil there to ascertain that how old that structure is. So basically, it is an attempt to go out and probably point out at a certain stage in future that this is a Hindu structure which has been in existence for hundreds of years or for thousands of years, depending upon the report of the carbon dating, the report of the soil testing, and that is what the prayer is. But if you talk about carbon dating, generally it has been done on the plants and animal remnants to determine their fuel, their longevity or their age of existence. Whether the court is going to allow them for structures like a rock-like structure or a monolithic rock,
that's a very interesting point. In fact,
Pranchu, the
Pranchu,
Muslim side claims is a fountain, that needs to be seen.
Right, that's a very interesting point that you have made, and I'm going to quickly bring in Ananya also, who continues to stay live with us on this news story. Ananya, you heard what Pranchu was saying. He's made a very valid point that so far carbon dating is not really used for such structures. How is this now going to pan out in terms of the entire prayer that is now seeking carbon dating? Will carbon dating be able to rule out the age of this entire structure, especially the shivling?
Well, yes, usually carbon dating is done in terms of fossils, but at this point of juncture, soil testing is another way that can determine actually the age of that particular piece or the area. And in fact, carbon dating, though it's mostly done on fossils, it can be used here in order to check the archaeological age of that particular structure and to bring out at least some scientific evidence as to whether it was actually a shivling or in fact a fountain as claimed by the Muslim sites. But what is very, very crucial to note at this moment of juncture is that this order, whichever way it comes in, it would definitely be going before a higher court. There would be legal parlance taking place, and one of the sides who would be aggrieved by this order, wherever this order goes at this moment of time, would be approaching the higher court. And as Pranchu was rightly pointing out, it would reach to the stage of in fact the Adi Visheshwar and in fact Gyanvapi dispute like it is there in the Allahabad High Court, and a similar situation would arise here as well. But until and unless this is challenged, the orders would remain, and if at all a carbon dating is ordered, there would be some kind of scientific investigation, some kind of scientific evidence that would be there in order to prove at least one side of the claim to be true. Because the carbon age, the age of the oxidations that happen inside the rock is basically what carbon dating is. They would see that how many oxidations have taken place into that particular rock piece, and then the archaeological age of a particular piece or structure of whom carbon dating is being done is actually ascertained. So this would actually give out a smaller or maybe some kind of a picture that what this piece of rock was, whether it was a shivling or was it a fountain, Akansha.
Right.